People are fascinated by London Mayor Sadiq Khan's ULEZ scheme, which involves, many have described, the creation of a surveillance state to stalk residents and charge them for driving around their home suburbs. This has never been done before, and it is policed by these invisible cameras. They're like speed cameras, but way worse. And the taxes raised from this scheme are said to be worth over £300 million per year, which is a lot. Now, this is front and centre because, of course, former GB News host Lawrence Fox was arrested for conspiracy to damage the ULEZ cameras. It follows after a group of people called Blade Runners, named for the sci-fi classic, have been vandalising them. Now, where do we go from this, Mark? Because obviously Sadiq Khan could do what Rishi Sunak has done and start walking back this and go, you know what, it's unpopular, the public obviously aren't happy, maybe I should cool it a little bit. Or we can continue forward and the public will have to settle into this new normal. Which way do you feel this is going to go?
Well, the interesting thing is that this has become a very tricky issue for the Labor Party because the July by-election in Uxbridge, Labor was expected to win that, but the Tories clung on. Purely because of this issue, you know, this was front and central, and this was the issue that cost the Labor Party winning that by-election. So there's been a lot of unhappiness in the Labor Party about that. On the ULEZ scheme itself, London is a complicated place to drive. There are two schemes that you need to be that have been in existence up until recently. One is the congestion charge, which operates in central London, and that applies to everyone. And then separately, there's the ULEZ, which was focused on central London. And what Sadiq Khan has done is he's extended that to the whole of Greater London within the M25. So yes, many more people are affected, and the people who are disproportionately affected tend to be are the ones in the outer parts of the city, which are areas which aren't so well served by public transport. People are much more reliant on cars and so forth, and it affects older conventional, i.e. petrol or diesel cars. So. The members of your electric car driving elite are not affected by this. It's the tradies, the families dropping off their kids at school, the visits to hospitals and so forth. It's very, very unpopular, and the other sort of big political factor in all this is that London has elections next May for the mayor, and it was always it was generally expected that the Tories would lose that election, but the Tory candidate Susan Hall is if a couple more candidates on the left put up their hands and run, there's a reasonable chance that she will win. And of course that would be an even bigger issue for the Labor Party if this will happen. It needs to be emphasised that ULEZ is not it's not actually a climate change measure. It's related to pollution, conventional pollution, I suppose you could call it. But it's very controversial. The Sadiq Khan wants to sort of claim that many people's health is at risk if you don't have this scheme, whereas I think he's been able to point to precisely one person who might have died as a result of this. But it's very sort of unconvincing and controversial, and it's got them into a real mess.